In this video, I'm gonna show you 3 of the most underrated 3-ball site swaps in juggling. Now, you've probably already heard of site swaps like 4-4-1 or 5-3-1, and if you haven't, I have some videos on them, so check them out. But today we're gonna be talking about 3 site swaps that people don't really do that much, yet are very helpful, and even have a pretty cool look. So let's get right into how to do these. And by the way, in case you don't already know me, my name is Fly Juggler Bennett Santor. I've been juggling for over a decade. I'm an international juggling champion. I've juggled 9 balls, and now I get to teach juggling to hundreds of thousands of people like you guys through my social media presence. Anyways, back to the video. And quickly before we start, if you need a set of juggling balls, I offer some at flyjuggling.com. These are the balls I use and they're absolutely great. I'm totally not biased at all. But seriously, if you're in need of a set, you can go check these out. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna be using multicolored balls so you can follow everything. So the first site swap that I'm gonna say is underrated is the site swap 5-2-2. So the reason this site swap isn't really done that much is because if you do it with the way people normally do 2s, it looks the exact same as 3-ball cascade. So this would be site swap 3-3-3, but it could also be rewritten as 5-2-2. Now, really what that would mean is instead of throwing these 3s at 3-ball height, you would throw them at a 5-ball height, something closer to this height. Now, generally when people do this trick, they throw the 5 up and then they just hold for the 2s. So 5-2-2, 5-2-2, 5-2-2. But what's cool about this trick is we can actually use that time where our hands are empty to actually do stuff. So for example, you can throw 1 high and do active 2s under it. So 5-2-2. So you throw that 5 up and then you grab each 2 like that. And if you run it consistently, it looks like this. So 5-2-2, 5-2-2, 5-2-2. And I think a pattern like that can have a really nice look, even though it's technically still just 5-2-2. Another good example might be that you throw a 5 and for one of the 2s, you just throw it to yourself like that. So 5-2-2. And then back into the pattern. And then if you could run this consistently, you might get a pattern like that. So obviously I haven't explored all the different ways that you could do 5-2-2, but for that reason, it's an underrated site swap because you can do a ton of different variations like that, but it's just underexplored. So people decide not to really do stuff with it, but with 4-4-1 on its own, it does look pretty cool. Okay, so the next site swap that we have that's also underrated, I would say, is 5-5-5-0-0. So this is where you throw the 3 balls up in quick succession like this, 5-5-5, and then your hands are empty for 2 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that 4th and 5th beat, my hands are empty. Now, if you're trying to learn 5 balls, this is already how you practice getting better at the height and the speed that you need for 5. But I also think it's really good to practice even if you're just doing 3 because it makes you a lot more comfortable with the timing of everything. So for example, just out of a 3-ball cascade, doing a 5-5-5-0-0 and getting really comfortable with this, I think can have some good effects. And you can even start to do stuff with 5-5-5 and then do a 360 under it, or even just a 5-5-5 and putting your arms out. So that one isn't necessarily the most aesthetic, but I think it will help you get better at juggling 3 balls, and for that reason, that site swap is underrated. And now the last site swap I think is underrated is called 1-2-3-4-5, or in actual site swap terms, this would be 3-4-5-1-2, but since it repeats, people just call it 1-2-3-4-5. So the reason this is such a nice site swap is because for one, it repeats, so it's symmetrical, and you can just continue this site swap forever. 2, it makes a nice stacking motion on each side of your body. So it stacks up on the right and then stacks up on the left and then continues. And generally, I think it's just a pretty unknown site swap. Even as an advanced juggler, I didn't really find out about the site swap 1-2-3-4-5 till a couple years ago. So the way that this trick works is you start with a normal 3-ball throw from your dominant hand. So I'll do from my right hand. And then before this one lands, you throw a normal 4-ball throw. So a just straight up throw from that hand and caught in the same hand. And then before that one lands, you throw a 5 from that side, so like a high crossing throw. So altogether, that's 3-4-5. And now all this stuff is landing in your left hand, so you need to empty it. So you throw a 1, and then you pause for a second, and that pause is the 2. So it's 3-4-5-1-2. And me holding this pink ball for a second is the 2. Now you can do that 2 as an active 2. So 3-4-5-1-2, 3-4-5-1-2, 3-4-5-1-2, 3-4-5-1-2. And I'm doing that 2 as an active, throw and catch. And it might even be easier to think about the pattern without saying the 2. So 3-4-5-1, 3-4-5-1, 3-4-5-1, 3-4-5-1. And that's how you do the pattern 1-2-3-4-5. Now again, I don't know why the site swap isn't known as much, and the other cool thing with it is you can do it up to an infinite number of balls. So for example, with 4 balls, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it'll look something like this. And with 5, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can kind of just keep extending this pattern up and up no matter how many balls you have. So that's another cool thing about this pattern. I don't know why it's so unknown, but it is definitely underrated, and I definitely would recommend giving it a shot because it looks pretty cool, just being able to go like that. But anyway, those were 3 underrated site swaps. I really hope you enjoyed watching. If you need help anywhere on your juggling journey, we have an online school community where we help you go in juggling from where you are to wherever you want to go. So if you're a 3-ball juggler and you want to be a 5-ball juggler, we'll take you there. If you're a 5-ball juggler and you want to be a 7-ball juggler, we'll also take you there. It's only a fraction of the cost of having an actual coach, yet you can get personalized tips and help every single month as if you had a real coach. So check that out. It'll be the first link in the description. And anyways, thank you so much for watching. I have a lot more coming out soon, so make sure to be subscribed so you don't miss any of that. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Happy juggling. I want design